Brand new update in Element Fission, update 173. We have the new fairies, we have some balances, and I was going to say we have some balance patches. Yeah, kind of. We have a small balance patch, and then we have some additional new skills as well as some quality of life improvements. Let's take a look at what we have here. The fairies. I believe these look different than the first time I got to see the original mock-up for them. So we already talked about the fairy. We talked about the water one, the light one, and which else? I don't know which else we talked about. But the water one looks like it's already going to be meta. So, fairy first skill, Fragrance, Water, Fire, Tree, Light, Dark. Attack an enemy, inflict 1 turn sleep with a 20 to 40% chance. If successful, increase your action bar by 50%. Very much like the Succubus in Summoner's War. Great skill, though. Unless you're fighting bears, then not so great. Bud of Tranquility, Tree, and Dark. Attack an enemy, remove 1 buff. This is the ones that we didn't see before, I believe. Attack an enemy, remove 1 buff, inflict 2 turns of silence, damage based on the enemy's max HP. Or maybe we did see one of them. This really depends on how fast the base speed of these units is. That's how we're going to see if it's good or bad. Or how useful it is, rather. Dandelion Spread. Transfer all debuffs from all allies to the target enemy and recover 15% HP to all allies. This is kind of like the Dryad, Water Dryad and Summoner's War as well. Lower your HP, the more the healing amount, which we talked about in the other video when we saw their skills initially. But I think these could be very useful. I also think that the water one is going to be very useful against the water man-at-arms and other control teams on defense. It's very, very strong against freeze. And what do we have next? Edelweiss's Blessing for the water. Oh, this is exactly what I'm talking about. If enemies take the turn consecutively, there will be an increasing chance of being inflicted with 1 turn of freeze after their turn. If an enemy is unable to act or only uses a normal attack, your action bar will increase by 15%. Additionally, all allies under inability state will receive 70% less damage. That's huge. Really good against the water man-at-arms teams. They have been quite frustrating if they outspeed you. And they caught a lot. I know they caught me. I'm sure they caught a lot of people. Otherwise, why would they be so popular on defense? And there's not really too much you can do. I mean, you can still counter them, but they are pretty tricky. And this is just going to be very strong against those teams. Then we have the Scarlet Bloom for the Fire one. Removes 50% of your current HP and attack all enemies with a 10 to 20% chance to inflict 1 turn stun damage based on your lost HP. The lower your HP, the higher the chance of causing stun. So it seems like it's going to be a nice turn to, I want to say Shield Will. It's not Shield Will, but Shield and Immunity, possibly increase attack bar based on lost HP for the gear on here. I think that there could be some nice builds. Because it has some it has some potential. It seems like it's an assassin type skill, like the assassins that ignore defense and they do more damage the lower the HP is. So seems like that, but no ignore defense, but it's an AOE that has a stun, which I feel like that's going to be useful. I do. But you're going to have to set it up correctly. Then we have the Leaf Storm for the Tree one. Attack all enemies 3 times, each with a 70 to 80% chance to inflict 3 turns of dots. Afterward, for each dot on the enemy side, increase the action bar of all allies by 3%. This, I feel like, is going to be huge. First off, this is another solid unit for Boxing Club for people. If they don't have the Tree Ninrat, the Mouse Windu, then they're going to have another option to actually get the dots for that team. I mean, the other option already is the Wisp Catcher, but now we have a better option for fast dot teams. So this should be good, right? This should be good enough. I mean, it's an AOE too. It's wild. It's wild. And then we have the Misdirection Light. Attack an enemy, remove all buffs, and then inflict 2 turns of Mark and 1 turn of Tempting Wreath. Check the feature battle entry for details. It's a brand new, Tempting Wreath is a brand new debuff. And then Parasitize for the Dark One inflicts a 5-turn Leech Seed to the target enemy. This effect will automatically disappear upon your death. Additionally, if the debuff you applied is removed, it will automatically transfer to the remover and refresh its duration. Check the feature battle entry for details. So let's see all the balance units, and then we will see. Oh, here it is. Feature update. Time limit for 20 times battles in the dungeon has been extended from 60 seconds to 90 seconds. Oh, that's nice. So you can actually clear these things a little bit more casually instead of just cleave and still unlock the 20 time battles. So, special effects displayed with a purple icon now require passing both a resistance check and an immunity check when applied to enemy targets. However, all previously existing skills of this type will ignore resistance and immunity to maintain their final effects unchanged. Newly added Tempting Wreath and Leech Seed will not receive these bonuses, and resistance and immunity can prevent the application of these effects. All bosses will be immune to special effects from enemies, and the Except Bosses statement will no longer be included in these skill descriptions to avoid redundant descriptions. We have the it's not brand new actually, Dark Iron Fist. Vengeful Mark defense is reduced by 50%, and attacks received will always be critical hits. Effect is only provided by the Dark Iron Fist. We have the Tempting Wreath. It is the new one from the Light Fairy. Your allies will attack you. Oh, this is the Confusion one. Your allies will attack you uncontrollably. When the effect ends, all other allies will be stunned for 1 turn. This effect is only provided by the Light Fairy. Seems ridiculous. I've been wanting this in Summoner's War for a while, and they never cared. They're like, yeah, that's probably a good idea. We're not going to do it. That's why. And then we have the Leech Seed from the Dark one. This is the one that we didn't see in the previous video. Cannot be revived. So you put the Leech Seed on. It can't be revived. The enemy on with it on. All received healing is transferred to the effect provider, so the Dark Fairy, and 20% of your HP is drained each turn. This effect is only provided by the Dark Fairy, so it's effectively like the Dark on Miyuji. These seem like stronger units than 4 stars, but, you know, these seem like stronger units than 4 stars. Next up, we have the Root one, which Root is a new debuff as well. It's not one of the purple debuffs, though. Cannot perform co-op attacks or counterattacks, nor can gain extra turns or increase action bar. This effect is now provided by the Tree Ripper and Tree Man-at-Arms. Just like the freeze ability of water units and the burn ability of fire, most root effects in the future will come from tree elemental units. Okay, I see what you're doing there. Most bosses will be immune to this effect. Very interesting. They said most bosses, not all bosses, most bosses. And then we have what changes to HP-based damage. Reduced damage based on HP effect in the skills in the boss protection will not only limit maximum HP-based damage, but also damage based on current HP or missing HP. We have the ally focus. During auto battle, clicking on an ally unit will set that as the party's focus target. With a focus target set, all single target ally skills will be forced to target the focus ally. In Crazy Dungeon, Abyss Dungeon, Mental Fortress, and Guild Survival battles, you can preset the focus ally in the battle settings, so you don't need to click on them again at the start of each battle. I wonder if this is going to improve the Tree Assassin doing his dots. I wonder. And then we have the manual battle in the Lost Tunnel. You can set the final wave to be forced into manual mode. This means the first 2 waves will be auto-battled. When the final wave begins, auto-battle will stop. This only applies to single battles, not continuous battle mode. Okay, then we have the test battles. Now have their own settlement panel where you can click a button to retest or share the test results. Share battle for all of the different PvP battles, well, PvP and PvE battles. And then we have the replays. Due change in Elmon attributes or skills, all battle records except for Lost Tunnel will be cleared. Gonna have to speed run it again, guys. We have detailed substat filter in the gear interface of the inventory and the gear management interface. You can switch the substat filter to detailed mode. In detailed mode, you can specify up to 4 substats and set the value range for each stat. Multi-type filter. I don't get too excited about these. I wind up using them, but I don't ever get excited initially. In the gear interface of the inventory and the gear management interface, you can switch the gear type selection to multi-select mode. In multi-select mode, you can select multiple gear types at the same time. You can now customize the name of each gear tag, and the tag filtering panel has been optimized to meet various filtering. They're doing all these quality of life improvements. I'm surprised they're doing all of these now. Batch sell settings allow you to select whether to sell gears that have been upgraded, and the level filter has been re-added to the exclusive settings. We also have new Elmon sorting button added to the Elmon interface. That might be nice. We'll see. And inheritance no longer consumes gems, but instead consumes gold. However, there's a now 12-hour usage cooldown period. We have new interface improvements in Airship War. We have a reserve feature in Territory War. And we have all players that they were asking for this for years in Summoner's War. Starting 6 hours before the tally, all players' names in the Ruby rank will be displayed anonymously. So you can't just hit the people you are targeting that you want to knock down and boost your friends or whatnot. This is something that there was an issue, or there's been constantly and never-ending issues in Summoner's War for Arena Rush, and a new company can come in and do it within like the first couple months. People start saying that they want it, and they're like, okay, we'll do it. Not a problem. This just shows how easy it was and why I was so frustrated for years. Anyway, we have other updates. We have other bug fixes. Lots of bug fixes. They're like, yes, we've been very busy with bug fixes. Oh, this is nice. I was having issues with the sound stuff. We also do have some balance patches. So some monster balances. Sorry. Mana Compress, Fire and Dark Sorcerer added effect when successfully removed a buff. Gain 1 turn of interest. I was not expecting that. Okay. Stealth might be extra frustrating for the dark one though. And then we have the Mr. Barbarian Rising Tide Water. Cooldown decreased from 6 turns to 3 turns. That is huge. But it is because the skill upgrades are changing from cooldown -2 to damage +20. So you don't have to actually put the skill ups into it to get those decreased cooldowns. Stat count increment is reduced from 4 to 3, and the maximum stat count is reduced from 8 to 6. I don't know why they did that part. Then we have the Hot Temper for the Fire one. Damage limit effect is adjusted from 35% to 25%. So more hits in order to kill him. Interesting. And then we have the War Nurse, Guardian Angel Light one. The revival effect no longer applies to herself. The probability of counterattack has decreased from 50% to 35%. Probably going to make I know this was a struggle for a lot of people, is the Light War Nurse in the, I want to say TOA, Lost Tunnel. TOA! Yep, why not? Keep messing it up. Wandering Monk, really. Impermanence Fire, the probability of receiving glancing hits has increased by approximately 20%, and additional damage has increased by 25%. I'm surprised to see that one, actually. Nature Order Tree, the additional damage has increased by 25%. I did not expect to see them being buffed. Are you really going to buff the Man-at-Arms? Seriously? Oh, never mind. It's a nerf. Thrust Water, the probability of freezing decreased from 100% to 70%. They really hurt that unit in this balance, in this patch 173. They brought a unit in that is just a really strong counter to it, and then they're like, we're gonna also decrease. Maybe it's not that crazy. You have to first summon the unit and then skill it up, and then maybe it's not gonna work as well as it seems like it's going to on paper, I guess. And then the Frenzy Growth for the Tree Man-at-Arms. Additional effect, apply 2 turns of root to all enemies. Oh yeah, the new skill. Effect rate has decreased by 10%. Check the feature. Oh, yeah, we already saw. Iron Fist, Vengeful Mark Dark. The guaranteed critical hit effect has been removed from the passive and added to the Vengeful Mark, which we already talked about. Mercenary Mother, Tumbler Fire. The defense bonus per stack has been increased from 30 to 40%. Wonderful. I'm just giving you a hard time. It's fine. Ripper, Reap Tree. The 6-star effect has been changed from reducing max HP to applying 2 turns of root. Grave Robber Tree. The additional damage based on the enemy's missing or reduced HP has been increased by 20%. And then we have the Killomatic 3000. Light damage increased by 33%. This is it's an interesting skill. I want to actually see it in action. I haven't gotten a chance to see it yet. And then we have the Ninrat Escape Plan for the Fire one. When attacked, there's a 20% chance to evade, and you can evade 1 fatal attack per turn. After evade, your action bar is increased by 20%. I still feel like it should just be you evade 1 attack, and that's that. Anyway, like the first one, and then after that, you're done. Shadow Step Dark added effect when in stealth state. The effect accuracy increased by 50%. And then what else do we have? I feel like that could have gotten more, though. Also, I'm scrolling more than I thought I would. Annihilator, Water and Dark ones. The 6-star effect has been changed from 20% accuracy to 15% crit rate. That makes sense for these units. Scorpion Instinct for the Dark one added effect. Your attacks are always considered to have element advantage. Gain Foresight, you can stack up to 3 stacks. The passive is only triggered when the enemy uses or triggers a skill that applies a buff. Gaining buffs through gear set bonuses will not trigger this passive. So this is similar to the Light Sniper. in Summoner's War. And then we have the Light Bookworm. Oh my god. Cooltime increased by 1 turn for each ally revived by the skill. Thank you. That needed that. That needed that. No complaints. That needed that. Hog Chef Magical Hamburger Dark. Added effect, remove all debuffs from allies. Maybe that would make me want to build this sooner rather than later. Oh, hold on. Don't mess with my boy. Giant. Fire Giant. Increase base HP. Decrease base attack and DPS. Oh, the damage multiplier changed from defense times 100% to max HP times 100%. Cooldown increased by 1. Why? You have to increase the cooldown. I'm gonna have a talk with them. They're not gonna listen, but I'm gonna have a chat. They're gonna be like, don't tell us what to do. That's what they're gonna say. Turtle Tank. I mean, okay, it's just an HP based ignore defense unit though. Now instead of defense based. Then we have the Turtle Tank, take cover fire, add effect, grant yourself 2 turns of immunity. So this gives the rest of the units on your team stealth. That's what this Fire Turtle Tank does. And I think that's about it for the update. Anyway, that's it for this one. Hope you guys enjoy. Hope you guys are excited. There are some nice changes coming to the game. I look at the patch and I'm like, not that many units were touched. I'm like, it's a different game. There aren't as many units. If there were 40 units being touched, that would be all the units. So anyway, I can't really expect more than this, I guess. I don't know. Hopefully we'll get some more new units though. I feel like we should get a lot of new units because we need a lot of units in the game. There's just not enough. There's not enough. Anyway, that's for this one. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I will see you as always in the next one.